Hey guys, what's up? Nick here once again, and today we're going to be looking at the PSP, aka PlayStation Portable. Now, yes, it is 2022, and I do still have a working PlayStation Portable. It's not hacked. I haven't put any custom brew software on it or anything like that. We are going to be looking at the legit, what you would get out of the box from a brand new PSP back in like 2004 or whenever these first came out. Now, this device, I've wanted to keep it in at least close to being pristine condition as possible over the years, just because I've absolutely always loved the look and feel of the PlayStation Portable, as well as the games and content that came with them. Because there were certain games that were only released on PlayStation Portable. Yes, of course, you can download ROMs and use emulators to play these on newer consoles or on PCs, which is great and all, but there's nothing better than actually playing it on the device it was intended for. So this is the piano black version. As you can see, it has definitely seen better days. It's not in perfect condition, but it's also not terrible. Most of these are smudges, which, let me grab my microfiber cloth over here. You can pretty much get most of this off just by rubbing it down. Could have worded that a little bit better, but otherwise, yeah, it doesn't look too bad, but there is definitely some scratches on it. You can still see the chrome plate around the back here where the UMDs go inside. You got both plates on the side. Now, on the left side here where the battery is, it is a little bit like coming apart. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of is splitting here around the seams. And that is actually due to the battery that's inside of it is not the original battery. It is an aftermarket, so it's not perfectly measured to fit in there exactly how it's supposed to. So it does bulge a little bit, but it gets the job done and it does work, thankfully, and it does hold a charge even in 2022. Let's go to the top here. One thing you're going to notice, there is a LAN switch, which is for the Wi-Fi, so you don't really see these nowadays. Normally, most devices have Wi-Fi ready to go, pre-installed, but back then, you could turn it off and on with the manual switch, which is pretty cool. And then they had a mini, you can see that, a mini USB. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if you guys have seen these in a while. I do have a mini USB cable right here that I actually was using to install some content on here for you guys. So that is a mini USB cable. These are very hard to find nowadays and they're garbage, so it's understandable why. But yeah, so mini USB was the main source of getting content on this guy, other than obviously using UMD discs for gaming and for videos. We do have the shoulder buttons on top, still as clicky and responsive as ever, a little wobbly, but that's just how they were made. But I always liked the aesthetic of these, how they were clear plastic, so they look like glass almost. Pretty cool. Going to the right side, we just have the power switch and then the little notch here to open the battery cover. Going to the bottom, we have the charging port here, which is just like a DC in, basically nothing too fancy there, but it is nice. You can charge it while it's being used. You don't have to take the battery out or anything to charge it, which is nice. And a headphone port. So and this is kind of weird. They had like a proprietary headphone port. I think if at one point this was a video out signal, so there was a specialized device you could buy for the PSP to connect this to any TV and actually have whatever's on the screen go to the television and you could record with that and stuff. But I sadly do not have that adapter. But yeah, a lot of proprietary stuff came to the PSP. And then going to the left side was another, and honestly the most infamous part of the PSP was the memory stick duo. So if we can get this guy open, it's a little tricky to open this door, especially when you don't have nails. Little weird drawer. But this is the infamous Memory Stick Pro Duo. 2 gigs. Whopping 2 gigabytes. This was, I want to say, $95 when I bought this in 2017. I do have a video talking about this exact unit from 2017. It was actually one of my biggest videos on the channel. I don't know why, but a lot of people seem to like that video. And this is the same PSP from that one. So if you want to take a little trip down memory lane with me and go watch that, you're definitely more than welcome to. But yeah, the Memory Stick Duos, they were definitely stupid. They were proprietary to the PSP. They're literally just a memory card, just like an SD card. You put it like in a digital camera like I'm using to record this video. And yeah, it was specific to the PSP and they were super uber expensive. And especially today, they're very hard to find. So yeah, a lot of people, including myself, really hate Sony for putting basically any type of content behind a proprietary memory stick. So yeah, again, thanks for that, Sony. And before we get into the device, I guess we should look at the front as well. We got the 2 speaker holes here, which honestly, speakers on the PSP weren't that bad, not gonna lie, especially for a device in 2004. We have the home button, volume buttons. We have a little microphone there, PSP logo. This is a display button, I believe. It changes the brightness, and then we have the sound. I don't know if this is like a mute button or what. I can't remember exactly what that does, but we'll try it out when we get in there. Select and start buttons. Then we have the classic square, triangle, circle, and X buttons. Power and hold indicators. So of course, if you were to put this in your pocket, you can put it in hold mode and it wouldn't touch anything or turn on by accident. And then on the left side, we have the directional pad and the one analog stick. Yeah, it was kind of weird that they brought only one analog stick to the PSP. A lot of people were hoping in a new iteration of the PSP they would make a 2 analog stick version, and they sadly never did. But that being said, developers got pretty creative with the controls in many of the games to where, honestly, you didn't really feel like it was that big of a change going from a PS2 controller per se to the PSP, which is pretty good. And then we have the indicators over here for the memory stick and for the Wi-Fi connection. But that is pretty much it for the design. That is the PSP. This is the 2000 model, I want to say. I don't know if it has it actually on here. Oh, here we go. It's actually the 3000 model. There we go. PSP 3001. So they had a ton of different models of PSP. They had the 1000, which was the original. They had the big, thick love handles, which honestly, I love the design of that one. It felt really hefty in the hand. Felt like a very premium device. But the screen was a little bit lackluster, and they definitely updated the screen for the 2000 and the 3000 models. And I don't really remember what the biggest difference from the 2000 to the 3 was. If you do, let me know in the comment section below. I want to say the biggest difference was the battery life, and they made the 3000 a little lighter. But again, I don't really remember what the differences are there. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how many different iterations of the PSP there are out there. And it's amazing that they did make that many over the time, because all in all, if you look at the sales, the PSP kind of failed in a lot of ways, which is sad because I just think it was one of those ahead of its time situations where it was an amazing device with an amazing premise and it could do amazing things, but it was just a little bit too expensive. And there was the Nintendo DS at the time that just had a lot more games in its catalog to play with. So people, of course, flocked to the DS that was a lot cheaper and it was a lot more accessible. So that's why ultimately PSP didn't do too well in terms of sales, but that's why I still love it to this day, because this thing is a multimedia beast. I did charge it up a little bit before this video, but I didn't fully charge it. So if it does die on me, we'll have to go get the AC power adapter and give it a try, but it looks like we do have 2 bars. And you can see the beautiful display there. LCD display. It's not OLED or anything, but it gets the job done. And yeah, it's a gorgeous display, honestly. Even in 2022, this thing is bright and vivid, very responsive. I think it's a 60 hertz display, more than likely. But yeah, it's a great little display. It's fully reset, by the way. I don't really have anything on here. I did put some pictures on here, some music, and of course we have some games that I'll be trying out for the video. The internet access is turned off at the moment. I couldn't get it to connect to Wi-Fi. I don't know if that's just my device having an issue, or if they rolled out a firmware update that did brick the system from connecting to the internet altogether. Because as you guys know, the PlayStation Portable online store has been turned off. You can't buy anything from it anyway. And also pretty much, I would think, every single server for every online PSP game has also been shut down. So there's really no reason to connect to the internet with this anyway. There was a web browser though, so it's kind of a shame I can't use that or try that out. But from what I remember as a kid using the web browser in this thing, it wasn't that good anyway. So yeah. Then we have Skype on here. That's kind of crazy. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, you got some crazy stuff on here, which is pretty cool. But let's look at some pictures to kind of show off the display. I did try to download some videos on here, and for the life of me, I could not get them to work. I don't know what it was, but when I went into the videos, it just would say content unsupported. Let's see if I can. There we go. Yeah, unsupported data. I tried a different codecs. I looked it up online, like what does this support? It looks like it supports MP4 files and AVI. I tried both. I used a video converter program, and yeah, nothing I can do can get it to work. So if you have an idea, let me know in the comment section below of what can I get videos to show up on here. That'd be really cool. But we do have some music on here, and I didn't download a whole ton of music. I just want to kind of show you guys some examples. And of course, copyright issues. I can't really play a whole song for you, but I'll just do The Glass by The Story So Far. And we can turn this up, I believe. So you probably won't be able to hear this with my microphone, so I'm going to switch to this mic on my camera. And now you're going to be able to hear me a little louder, but you can hear how loud these speakers are. They honestly, for how big this device is, they're pretty insanely loud. but they're not the most clear. They're not extremely clear. Like, just let's get that out of the way. They're not the best speakers, but for what they were in 2004, again, we got to look back at that. For a portable device, like, we didn't even have smartphones at this point, guys. We had flip phones. That's all we had. So this was amazing. You could just take this out on the bus when you're going to school, and it's a little mini jukebox. Seriously, it's amazing. And then, of course, you can see the little equalizer, which is kind of cool. I think if you hit triangle, let's see, we got a ton of different options here, from shuffle to repeat, visual player. Here we go. There's a ton of different ones you can actually mess with, which is super cool. Like, look at that. That is wild, dude. And we got a regular equalizer, and then you just got the background wallpaper. It's basically just a ton of different stuff that goes along with your music. But I remember this one was always my favorite, just like the wavelength kind of thing. But go back to play. Yeah, that's just super cool. Yeah, I don't want YouTube taking down this video because of that, so I'm going to stop the music there. But that essentially is the music player. And if I remember right, let me test this. I think you can actually go back to the home screen while the music's still playing. Let me try that. Yep. And you can see the equalizers even in the background there. That is wild, dude. Again, this is stuff that was mind-blowing back then. And even looking at today in 2022, it still blows my mind that they were able to do this back then on a little handheld device. Like, just crazy, dude. So that's music playback. Again, it was probably one of the best portable music devices at the time. The only thing holding it back was the Memory Stick Duo. If it just had a better way of supporting internal storage, I think it would have done a lot better. Going into the camera, I downloaded some random pictures on here just to show you kind of what the display looked like for images and stuff. Didn't mean to act like myself in front of you, my bad. I think you get, yeah, there's some options here as well. Can't really read it though over the, yeah, I can't really read that over the image, but it looks like it says view mode, display. I don't know what display does, but view mode. Okay, you can like zoom, I guess. I think you can use the analog stick and like go up and down. So that's kind of cool. If you wanted to like zoom in and see it up close, we can rotate it. Again, zoom out, zoom in. You can go like way in, holy crap. So honestly, the viewer was pretty robust on this thing for little pictures. Looking at a legit meme right now, and this is that's honestly cool. I forgot about how much stuff was on here, but yeah, that's like the picture viewing experience on a PSP. Not bad at all. You can see there's a camera option. That was actually an accessory that's what these little notches were for. It connected into the mini USB port, and it was a little camera that you could take on the go with you. I think they added that just kind of to, I don't really know, I guess to compete with some flip phones that had cameras at the time. And I do remember I had the camera attachment at one point in time. Wasn't that great, but it could flip to do selfies, so there is that. And again, this is all prior or before smartphones were a thing, so you got to remember that. Like, we didn't have these amazing cameras on the go that you could take and put on social media, you know, without a hitch. You could literally do that with this guy. You could have a camera on there, take a selfie, go into the web browser, go to Facebook or whatever was around back then, maybe even MySpace at that point, and you could upload it right to there from the PSP. Like, granted, it would take 25 hours to do that. Hey, but you could do it. And then, let's see, going to the settings, nothing too crazy in here, honestly. Some sound settings, connected display settings. This is what I was talking about with that port in the bottom. So you could connect it to a TV, and I think it outputted in 1080p. I could be wrong on that. It was either 720 or 1080, but either way, very astounding, very, very impressive. Power save settings, date and time settings, theme settings. You could download separate different themes for the background, which is cool. I only have the original one in there right now. I haven't downloaded any secret ones, but even with the out-of-the-box experience, you get this tasty treat stream, or theme, I should say. So we're going to switch to that. You can see that. That's what the themes do. They change up the X and B bar to different little images. Background changes to what you like, and even sometimes the font would change. But we're going to go back to classic. Yeah, do classics. That's by far my favorite one anyway. And we can change the color as well. Ton of different color choices, which is pretty sweet. I should kind of take that gray color, but let's just go with like the purple. It's cool. And then background, you could have it to whatever wallpaper you wanted. So you could leave it as the X and B as the classic, right? And then you could put the wallpaper as one of your images. There's no wallpaper set, but you could like set one of your images in here as a wallpaper. I'm not going to get into that now, but there is a way to set any image you want as your wallpaper, and then you can basically have a custom theme. Again, on a device that was handheld in 2004. So, crazy, man. Just crazy. All right, so like I said, can't really go online with this thing, so let's try going into a game. So let's look at my game collection. So I haven't, sadly, updated this or added any new games since I made my original video in 2017. I do apologize. And in here right now, I think is Burnout. So this is Burnout Legends, basically Burnout 3 on the go. And then this is like a little case that holds all of my games. So we got a ton in here, by the way. I think it opens from both sides, if I remember right. Yeah. So from this side, we have Medieval Resurrection, Hot Shots Golf 2, Ape Escape. God, can't beat Ape Escape, man. God of War, Chains of Olympus, an amazing game. If you haven't played it, I think it's a PSP only. Very worth it. Motorstorm Arctic Edge, probably one of the best looking games on the PSP. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, basically Grand Theft Auto 3 on the go. Twisted Metal Head On, an amazing Twisted Metal game. And then a Flat Out Head On. I don't think this is like a third layer to this. I think it's just the 2 layers, but those are all the games that I have right now. And then, of course, Burnout. Let's do some Ape Escape. I haven't, like, literally played an Ape Escape in, like, 3 years, maybe? It's been a while. So we're going to put that to the side. We're going to open up the tray. Put the UMD inside. Shut it. Let's see how long it takes up to load. Not too bad. That was actually pretty quick. So Ape Escape on the loose. Let's jump into it. Yeah, like, jumping into a PSP, it just... the nostalgia just comes rolling back. I used to play this thing all the time when we go on road trips as a family. We used to drive, like, I'm from Minnesota, so we used to drive down all the way down to Alabama, which was like a 24-hour drive. Sometimes we'd go to Colorado as a family, and yeah, on those long car rides back then, again, you didn't have an iPod, I didn't have an MP3 player, I didn't have a Nintendo Switch at the time, I didn't have a smartphone, so this is what I had, and I was blessed. Honestly, I was. Kids didn't even have this. They had books. So yeah, having this guy, had my music, had my games, had some videos on it. I remember I even had some UMD movies. I had like Napoleon Dynamite on one of these things. So yeah, as a kid with these things, like, you were blessed. All right, we're getting into it. Let's go. Gotta capture 3 monkeys. Even to this day, this analog honestly feels pretty good. It's pretty responsive. Doesn't feel loose or like it's gonna drift on you. Oh, here we go, dude. The classic Ape Escape. All right. I know my camera's probably not doing this justice for how good this game looks right now on the screen. I feel like it might see like some lines and stuff, but trust me, in person, you don't see that at all. So, let's see if I can get this guy. I think I have to whack him. God damn it, Goomba. Come here, monkey. Yeah! Got one. If you've never played Ape Escape, you were missing out. That's all I'm gonna say. You got to play this game if you haven't. Come here, monkey. Oh, you dick. Come on. Ow. I'm getting wrecked, dude. My cookies are almost on. Yeah. Let's go. Ow. Oh. Well, I died. So that's Ape Escape. Let's try one more game for you guys before we end the video. Let's do Motorstorm Arctic Edge, just because I want to show you guys the graphical capabilities of this game. You're going to be blown away. I'm not kidding. It's such a gorgeous looking game. Nice little thing about this case, too, it's got magnets in it, so the UMDs fit perfectly, and they don't rattle around when they're on the go. Definitely recommend it. If you want these accessories, I'll have a link in the description below. I found them all on Amazon. I think they're still being sold, too, so pretty cool. Oh, the other accessory, too, I forgot to show. This little case. And I say little very lightly. It's a big case. If I can remember how to open this thing. Holy crap! Alright, we're gonna turn you down. Woo! Alright, I'm gonna start that up just because I know it's gonna take a little bit to load. But yeah, this case is, there we go. Pretty robust, rugged, but it protects your PSP at all costs. That's how this thing still looks so good to this day. I don't really play it in this. You are able to cover the screen with this screen protector, which is pretty cool. And then you can play the whole device while it's in this and just kind of have this flapping down. But it's really heavy, it's bulky, and it gets in the way. So I don't know. I usually take the PSP out after I've gotten to my destination, but this is a really cool little carrying case and highly recommended for a very fragile device like a PSP. That was another thing with handheld consoles back then, is they were really rugged and robust, and if you dropped it, didn't really matter. Now with the PSP, I would think like one tumble to the floor with this thing and you're kind of SOL. Also, this is the OG battery that it came with. I don't know if I'll be able to capture this on camera very well. Probably not, but it's bulging. Like it's bad, right? It's bulbous. Kind of goes, ooh. I don't know how to I hope the camera's picking that up, but yeah, it's squishy and it's bad. So that's why I have the aftermarket battery in there, and it works, as you can see. So cool that they still have those these days, so you can get some aftermarket batteries for these guys. So here we go. This is MotorStorm Arctic Edge on the PlayStation Portable. How do I go? There we go. Trigger button. I'm trying to angle it so the camera's not getting hit by the light. I'm hoping this is picking up on camera. Maybe if I get a little closer. Like, this game is gorgeous, dude. Get some boost going. One of the biggest issues with a lot of PSP games, especially racing games, was a lot of like motion blur was used to cover up kind of the shitty visuals. They didn't have to do that with this one. So there's no motion blur kind of ruining your visuals or like your eyesight, I guess, for what's coming up next. Burnout Legends is a good example of that, where like the game still looks really good, but they use so much motion blur that it honestly is a little bit, I don't know how to explain it. It really doesn't make your eyes feel good. And it's very hard sometimes to know what's coming up next. Like if you're gonna run into traffic or a pole around the corner, like with this one, you can see pretty far in front of you. It's got pretty good viewing distance, at least from what I'm seeing here. I'm just playing like garbage because I'm actually looking through my monitor, my external monitor, and my camera that's looking at my PSP. I'm not actually looking at the screen of my PSP, so. But I'm trying my best. Oh, I'm in first. Probably not for long. But yeah, this game looks gorgeous, man. 2022 on a device made in 2004-ish. Now, granted, this game was very late in the PSP's life cycle. This was one of the last games to come out on the PSP. So they had a lot of time to, you know, perfect it and make sure it actually could use the hardware efficiently. But this game runs amazingly. No frame drops. It looks great. Sounds great. It's very fun. Yeah, highly recommended. Here we go. Yeah, first place. I can't believe I actually won that while playing like this. Also, before we go, I forgot to talk about these two buttons. So let's try this button here. This is the brightness like I expected. So they have only 4 different dimnesses, I should say, dim settings. This is the dimmest setting here. And then, or 3, I guess, only 3. And then this is the brightest. So if you're outdoor setting, you don't want to have too much reflection going on. The brightness here, honestly, this is extremely bright. I'm pretty impressed. Like, compared to my smartphone, it's pretty close. Like, no joke. The highest brightness is definitely good, but obviously, it'll drain your battery a lot faster. So I normally play it on the lowest setting, even though I do wish it got a little bit more dim for at night. You know, if you're laying in bed, you don't want this blinding you. So, not too much of a dimness setting per se, but it does get very bright for outdoor settings. And then the music button, it doesn't mute it, so I still don't know what this does, to be honest with you. I don't know. If you guys know what that button does, let me know in the comment section below, because I'm an idiot. But that essentially is the PSP PlayStation Portable in 2022. Still works great, still holds a charge. We're still at 2 bars of battery. I'm honestly kind of astounded by that, because this is the same battery I've had in it since 2017 when I got it online. So yeah, pretty amazing. It's just so cool. Like, you can probably tell in my voice, like, I'm just so excited to try this thing out and play with it again. Every time it comes out of my bag and I turn it on, it just a wave of nostalgia right away. So let me know, do you guys have a PSP as well? Does it still work? Do you still use it to this day? Are you a person that uses it for emulators? Like, do you kind of, you know, use it for like custom brewing software? Or do you use it like I do, where you just have some UMDs laying around and you like to play it on the PSP from time to time? Let me know in the comment section below, and leave a like to show your support. As always, it truly does help, and you guys' support has been amazing as of late. We're almost to 13,000 subscribers on the channel. That is ridiculous, insane. I can't believe we're almost there. So just sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. You've been amazing. I will hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.